It's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randirhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fall. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
2,000 former Department of Justice officials have now publicly called for his resignation. This, of course, stemming from the D.O.J's reversal on sentencing recommendations for longtime Trump confidant Roger Stone. Kira Phillips has more from the White House.
Tonight, more than 2,000 former Justice Department prosecutors and officials are calling on Attorney General William Barr to resign, signing a letter saying they strongly condemn Barr and President Trump for interference in the fair administration of justice. They call Barr's decision to overrule his own prosecutors to recommend a lighter sentence for the president's friend Roger Stone unheard of and outrageous.
Did you talk to the president at all about your decision regarding the recommendations?
The recommendations on this case? Never.
But Barr has also taken an interest in other cases involving people close to the president, including ordering a review of the prosecution of Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn. In their letter, those 2,000 former DOJ employees were blunt. A person should not be given special treatment in a criminal prosecution because they are a close political ally of the president.
Wow. I just want you to know that the number now, yesterday it was 1,100. 1,100 federal prosecutors, 1,100 Department of Justice prosecutors and officials, okay? Today the number is 2,500. That's like the entire Justice Department threatening a mutiny, and Bill Barr can't have it because how does he explain that nobody's case goes forward? How does he explain that everybody gets, I mean, it's just so unbelievable. So now Bill Barr is telling people connected to Donald Trump that he's considering quitting because of the tweeting. And the only way that Donald Trump will get this message is if Bill Barr goes on Fox. So I'm putting that out there. Go on Fox, Bill. Go on Fox News. One vowel movement away from what it does to the news. Donald Trump does not take subtle hints. Donald Trump doesn't even accept undisputable facts. So why do you think your subtle hint? Is this cover for Bill Barr? I don't know what this is. I mean, this is just so unbelievable. And so the insiders, or the deep state, the deep state, told the Washington Post that Barr seems to be sharing his position with advisors in hopes the president would get the message. You couldn't give the message to Donald Trump that he's breaking the law on your AG watch any more than if you tattooed it on his disgusting, bloated, wrinkly body. I mean, remember the movie Memento? Remember that? Yeah. You could not get it through his thick skull. You need to go on Fox News. Ew, can you imagine having the job of tattooing Donald Trump? Can you imagine that? That is just disgusting. On that corpulent body. It would be like trying to tattoo a water balloon. An orange one. Ew. So this is where we're at. You have the entire Department of Justice threatening to quit. The entire, like every prosecutor in the U.S., not current, former, threatening to quit, saying that Bill Barr should resign. And you've got others inside DOJ who are like being held hostage. They don't know what to do. If they bring a prosecution against a political friend or a donor or somebody that Donald Trump worked with on Celebrity Apprentice, then all their work will go out the window in the end, because Donald Trump will either get AG Barr to insert himself to give them no sentence, a lighter sentence, or pardon them. And so these prosecutors are like, why are we even doing this work? If it's anybody that's got any connection to Wall Street, anybody who's got a connection to real estate, anybody who's got a connection to any of Trump's friends, like Di Bartolo, I mean, this guy is a friend of Michael Cohen's, a friend of Omarosa's, right? So you have to pardon him. Milken is a friend of Steve Mnuchin's. So you have to pardon him. Blagojevich was on Celebrity Apprentice. Although Donald Trump, this is so, oh my God, this is so amazing. He swears today, or yesterday, this was yesterday's little clip from, I guess it was yesterday afternoon, where he swears up one wall and down the other that he doesn't even know Blagojevich. He doesn't even know him. The man was on Celebrity Apprentice for an entire season. He doesn't even know him.
Yes, we have commuted the sentence of Rod Blagojevich. He served 8 years in jail. It's a long time, and I watched his wife on television. I don't know him very well. I met him a couple of times. He was on for a short while of The Apprentice years ago.
Oh, my God. You know where he saw his wife? He saw Patty Blagojevich on Fox News. She was on Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham 7 freaking times. 7 times. And he worked with Blagojevich. That means he had to be casted. He had to go through rehearsals. He's worked with Donald Trump personally. He was brought into the board. I mean, I don't even know him. He doesn't, Rudy. He doesn't know Parnas. There are a million videotapes of Parnas and Donald Trump. He doesn't know half these people. He didn't know Carter Page. Carter Page was never part of my campaign. Now they're saying that Carter Page's FISA warrant was written up, in error, or mistakes were made, omissions were made, and it's either a criminal omission or it was an omission of, error. Either way, Donald Trump back in the day when it was inconvenient said Carter Page was never part of my campaign. I don't even know him. Now he's saying Carter Page was on my campaign, and I know him, and that he was spied on and he was used to get to me. The man is so bizarre. But here you have 2,500 former DOJ employees who signed a letter urging Barr to resign. And this man will not accept undisputable videotaped facts that played on national television for an entire season of Celebrity Apprentice as proof. So Bill Barr's going to hint that he may quit. You know what Bill Barr is saying? He's saying out loud, don't worry, Donald Trump needs me more than I need him. And if Donald Trump wants to keep tweeting, and if Donald Trump, because I got this. If you'll just shut the F up, I got this. But if you want to screw this relationship up over here, you want to lose your best enabler, the smartest guy when it comes to destroying the Constitution that's ever come down the pike, you're Roy Cohen. Trust me. Keep tweeting. I mean, what kind of a presidency is? I mean, it's so bizarre. He's such a strange man.
So now Barr cares about the DOJ's independence all of a sudden?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe that for a minute. Just like I certainly saw Barr move his lips and say that he didn't want Trump to tweet, but I don't really view that as more than him being upset that Trump is telling him, what to do, and it's making it too obvious that he's essentially doing Trump's bidding. I think this is a smokescreen, and Barr will be back to doing Trump's bidding soon enough.
Do you think he's delusional to think that he can get this president, which no one has been able to do, to stop tweeting, Renato?
I'm surprised if he's actually trying to convince Trump to do something. I don't really believe anyone can move him, and I don't think Barr is foolish enough to think that. He seems like a pretty clever guy to me.
Harry, how much of this you think is because Barr is potentially facing a rebellion within
inside
the department?
The DOJ?
Yeah, I think that puts your finger on it. I take Renato's point, but I think it's a real indication of the depths of the outbursts in the department, the possibility there would be more. I mean, the department is looking at actual sort of paralysis. 2,000 former prosecutors, all of the judges. That would be a very hard thing for Barr to have on his watch.
Fatality.
Right. And don't forget, today is the emergency meeting of the 1,100 federal judges. They were supposed to have a meeting in the spring. It's almost spring. They couldn't wait. Donald Trump is an emergency. An emergency. And so all these federal judges are meeting today to discuss what to do about Donald Trump intruding on their cases. Rhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.